welcome to Dresden. We're playing La Bataille de Dresden on the 25th of August 1813, and the time has just turned 6 o'clock now, so we've completed 1 hour of this skirmish on the eve of the main siege of Dresden, and what a disastrous turn it was for the Russians. The French in their turn really had a good push, they did. And what's happened is in Dresden, the general order infantry that are holding out in that village, they did take 100 hit, so they are going to carry 100 hit through to the next scenario, and that could be their weak spot at the minute. If the Russians can break that, they might be doing well to get a breakthrough there. But they did actually push all the infantry back during melee. There was 2 units that were trying to assault, and they both failed their morale check and suffered some increment loss as they was retreating. The star of the battle so far has been this cavalry unit down here that's been in skirmish mode. So that attacks a number of infantry and pushed them back, and they're disordered and fleeing the field now. We've got 1 plus grand disorder at the back there. We had a few of the Russians that were able to recover good order. The challenge for the French this turn is they do have this tired cavalry, and it's also looking like it's out of command, so that's going to be difficult to try and protect that now, but that has been the star of this battle so far. This is just a really interesting game, a really interesting scenario. There's going to be loads of options this turn, and how the chits get pulled is really going to affect this battle. What I should also point out was there was 2 artillery on both of these hills, and they was able to combine their fire to shoot down on this battalion down there, and what a devastating hit it was. This battalion took 2 hits. They've lost 400 men now, so they've only got a third of their troops remaining. So that's looking very precarious for them. Overall, the French had a really good turn, so going forward to the scenario tomorrow so far, 100 French won't be turning up onto the field, and 500 Russian won't be turning up onto the field. In addition to that, the commander of the Russian side's got to deal with 2 battalions in disorder, 1 plus grand disorder, 1 up here about to collapse and be destroyed. It really is the point now that the Russian commander definitely needs to make an impact this turn. If he doesn't make an impact this turn, he may start thinking about pulling back already, because it's looking a bit of a lost cause. The French have made excellent use of this village terrain. They've made excellent use of the hills up there, and the Russians were always against it because they didn't have the best troops. The French certainly had the best position, and the French had the numbers as well. And it looks like this French cavalry is also one of the good ones, but we haven't seen this cavalry in action. But I think this cavalry is a lot larger in size. I mean, you've got 16 increments versus 8 for the Russian cavalry. So I think this is a very hard scenario for the Russians to win in general. They always seem to be up against it. And if you have luck at winning this scenario with the Russians, do let us know in the comments and let us know what your strategy is. But this game can turn around a lot yet. But I think what is in reserve, there's a regiment for the French that's 2,300 men back there, just in 1 regiment. And these Russians aren't going to be able to deal with that realistically, unless they can clear these out with some lucky assaults, lucky fire hits, get them routing, and then put a lot of assaults into that regiment that's coming up. But the Russians do need to get used to this, because tomorrow it's going to be far, far harder to assault Dresden, even though the Allies are going to have the numbers early on in the game. So I'm going to try and play this 6 PM turn now, and we'll see how we get on.